So we're going to get into a little bit of a story time. Okay, a little bit of a story time. And this is going to be a bit of motivation for you all. Okay, to basically stop you guys from being a fucking pussy, which is what I was for a little bit, and which is what most of you in here are. That's okay, I was too. Alrighty? So, here's what we're going to fucking do. I'm going to pin myself so I can only look at myself. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a story about me running a half marathon yesterday. Now, we could start this story in a million different places, but we'll start it from the context that this summer I ran a lot. Over the past month, I have ran, well, basically 0 times. Why? Because I was being a bitch. It's as simple as that. I was being a pussy. I was telling myself, I'm too busy. I'm too tired. I'm too sore. Oh, I'll work out at home. I'll do some push-ups here, some pull-ups. That'll be enough. I've gone hiking a few times. That'll suffice. That'll do. But it's like, that's what everybody says, right? Everybody makes these excuses, right? It's just excuses. And you can't see it on my whiteboard right here. It says make adjustments, not excuses. And so I told myself, as a matter of fact, my buddy called me. One of my good buddies, he's a fucking beast. His name is Miles. One of the strongest benchers in all of Canada for powerlifting. Okay. He's an absolute specimen. Called me up in the morning. Was like, hey man, I saw you running by the uni, which is for context about like 7 kilometers away from my house a couple weeks ago, out in the pouring rain at 7 a.m. Right? Like I'm out here fucking in the trenches running. 7 a.m. in the pouring fucking rain at the university where everyone else is in their cars, da-dee-da-dee-da, driving. He called me. He's like, man, I haven't seen you for a while. What you been doing? It's like, man. I was like, I've been being a bitch. I've been making excuses. I've been telling myself I'm working too hard. I'm working too much. I got too much stuff on my plate. And then I realized it's all just excuses. Yes, I'm busy. So is everybody else in this world. And they still have time. They make time. They find time to do the things that matter, right? You'll always find time for things that are priority in your life, right? You could always make and find time for the things that you actually value, the things that you care about. And so I realized, man, I'm just being a bitch. And I was like, you know what? Keep me accountable. I'm going to fucking go for one soon. Okay. I was like, just keep me accountable. Okay. I was like, I got you. And I then went on to work for 12 hours. Okay, I didn't eat the entire day, worked for 12 hours, fasted. I was finally done working. Now, was I done all the stuff I had to do? No. There's more stuff I had to do, but for that moment in time, I was like, okay, I'll chill for now. I was like, man, I should go for a run. Like, I should probably go for a run. And I was like, man, but I'm tired. I'm sore, I'm hungry. I kind of want to make dinner. I have a really good dinner I could make right now. What should I do? I was like, you know what? Let me just put my shoes on, go for a quick run. I'll clear my head. I'll listen to some nice music. I'll have a nice run. And so I set out for my 5K loop. Okay. I have an out and back 5K. I was like, I'll do that. And I'm getting there and I'm like, you know what? I'll go a little further. I'll do like 10-ish. I was like, but you know, here's the thing. I have this like psychological barrier for doing 10K. For some reason, there's like this 10K loop. I always cut it short. I always cut it short. I don't know why. I always end up cutting it short. And I was like, you know, I'm going to do 10K. I'm going to do it. Like, I know exactly. I was at the turning point of like 8-ish, like 4K out, 4K back, right? So like the 4K mark where I always turn back. And I was standing there and I was like, nah, I can't do it. I got to keep going. Like I was at least standing. I was like, no, I got to keep going. I just got to go one more. I got to go one more. One of my buddies, one of my good and best buddies of all time. One of my actually, probably one of my longest friends, one of my first friends that I ever met when I moved to Canada, Jordan, just ran his first full marathon last weekend, which inspired the fuck out of me. So props to him. I think he did it in sub 4 hours. He's an absolute beast. So respect to him. And I was like, man, I got to keep going. I owe it to him. I was like, I owe it to him to do this. I owe it to my buddy Miles, who called me this morning, talking to me, just checking in to hold me accountable. I owe it to him. I owe it to all of you guys. I owe it to everybody in RSC that I tell every single day, you need to become the best version of who you are. You need to work hard. You need to be honorable. You need to be kind. I owe it to you guys. How am I going to sit here telling you guys what to do when I myself am being a bitch? How? That's cowardice. And I'm not a fucking coward. So I decided I'm going to keep going. And so I kept running. And I kept fucking running. I hit the 10K mark, right? Like the 5K out and back. I'm going to keep fucking going. You know what? at that moment, when I hit that point where it was either I turn around and I finish with do a 10K or I keep going, I was like, I'm going to keep fucking going. I'm going to run a half marathon because I owe it to the people. I owe it to you guys. I owe it to my family. I owe it to God. I owe it to myself to be great, to be the best version of who I am, to not be average. I owe it. It's more than just me. It was more than just me running out there. It felt like I had a fucking army behind me of people running with me, motivating the fuck out of me every single step of the way to get it done. That's what it felt like. And so I kept going. I kept going because I was going to say, people look up to me. I reminded myself, people look up to me. Some of you guys DM me every single day saying, Stefan, thank you. You inspire me. People look up to me. And I owe it to you guys. I owe it to them. I owe it to the people to become the best version of who I am so I can inspire you to be the best version of who you are. And I can't do that being a coward sitting in my own home. And so I decided I'll keep going. And so I ran all the way to the mall. Okay, the mall is the point at which is like the 10K mark where I turn around and run. That's actually where I ran my first half marathon. And so I ran the route. And I actually stopped at the mall real quick because that's the bank I used to work at. And I walk into the bank real quick, like, hey guys, what's up? They're like, oh, what'd you do? Are you just, working out or you bike here? No, I ran here. How far is the run? Oh, I ran about 9.5K here. 9.5. The look on their faces when I said I just ran 9.5K to the fucking bank was unfathomable. They could not fathom the fact that I just ran that far for literally no reason. You could argue it's for no reason. For what? What'd you get out of it? Pain? Yeah. And that look on his face made me fucking want to kill it even more. Because like, that's why I'm doing this, right? I want to do this to show that you guys can do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to, right? You can inspire people. You can become the best version of who you are. And more importantly, you can do so much more than your brain tells you to. You know what's crazy is how much more you have to give when your mind tells you to stop. How much more you have to give when you think you're in pain, when you're tired, when you're sore, when you're beat up, when you feel like there's nothing left to give, how much more you actually have to give. You can give so much more than you think. You have so much more in the tank that you don't even know you're capable of achieving because you've never pushed past your limits. You've just sat there in cowardice, in complacency, and just sat there and accepted that this is who I am. This is what I'll do. This is what I will be. You've accepted it. How many of you have accepted shit that you're like, you know what? I've done enough. I've done a good job. I worked hard today. I sent my outreach. I did this. I did that. I did boom, 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 boom. It's never enough. It's never enough. Never fucking settle because you have so much more to give. Just when you think you're done, how much more do you have to give? Keep pushing and ask yourself, how much more can I give? How much more can I give right when you think you're done? Try yourself, test yourself, push yourself. I went 5K, 10K. Then I went to 15. Then I got to 17. And I was at my home. 17K. I was at my home. I could stop right there. Nobody would see me. It's pitch dark. Nobody would know. Nobody knew I went for a run. Nobody knew I was going to go for a run. Nobody knew I was even set out to run 5, 10, 21K. No one fucking knew. I could have stopped. But what kind of person does it make me if I would stand there and quit on something I set out to do? What kind of person does that make me? I'll tell you what, not a person I want to be and not somebody I'd want to look up to. So I kept running. And guess what? For the next 2 kilometers, I didn't even start my watch. I didn't fucking start it. I went to check to see how much time I had left, how far I was, if I was on track, because I was on track to beat my best half marathon pace. I was on track to beat it. After working 12 hours, fasted, no food, tired, sore, haven't run in a month, I was on track to beat my best fucking half marathon pace. I didn't start my watch. I ran 2 kilometers without starting my watch. I screamed. I was fucking pissed. I felt like it was over. I wanted to just fucking throw in the towel, call it. It's like, no one fucking knows. I'll quit. Who gives a fuck? And that's when I reminded myself, it's in times like this, it's where God is testing you. And God wants to see, what are you made of? What kind of person are you? what kind of person are you if you quit right now? I was like, that's not me. I want this shit. I fucking want this shit. Give it to me. It's not God, why me? It's God, try me. I want the challenges. I seek pain. I seek discomfort. I seek adversity. I seek challenges. I seek hardship. I seek the times that are tough because I know that those are the times that you grow the most. And so I knew it happened for a reason. And so despite wanting to throw in the towel, despite that my legs were literally fucking whimpering back and forth and I could barely even stand still, I have to keep running. I have to finish the last 4K. And if you're going to finish, either finish strong or don't finish at all. It's a quote I heard a while back on Instagram, and I've stuck to me to this day. If you're going to finish strong or don't finish at all. And so I ran the last few kilometers, if I'm not mistaken, at a 5:11, 5:15 pace, which for some of you that may be shit. For others, that may be amazing. For me, it's personally awesome. And I finally hit the 21.1K. I was like, I fucking did it. I was like, I did what I set out to do, regardless of how I felt. I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't want to do it. I didn't train for it. I didn't fucking think I was going to do that day. I had everything stacked against me. I had all the excuses in the world. Every single excuse in the world I could have thrown out there. And it would have been valid. But valid by who? Not by me. Not by God. God wouldn't accept that. You guys wouldn't accept that if I said I quit at 17K because my watch stopped. That's not valid. Those aren't valid reasons. None of them are valid. And so I kept fucking going because I knew that I could make every single excuse in the book. I'm tired. I have blisters. I'm sore. I'm thirsty. My water's out. I'm hungry. Man, it's hard. Yes. That's exactly why we should. It's because it's difficult. Because if it's difficult, that's exactly what it makes worth doing. When something is difficult, that's exactly why we should do it. Because that's what makes it worth doing. Is it really worth it if it wasn't difficult? Like, if it wasn't worth it, would it be worth even trying? Would it be worth it if it wasn't difficult? I want you to answer that question. Because for me, the answer is no. It would not be worth it. And so I want it to be difficult. That way, when it's done, when I've conquered it, I know it's worth it. I know that it will be worth it. And so I want to read you guys the quote that I wrote yesterday that I completely copied, okay? But that I want to share with you all, okay? 2 of them. I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and impossible. The fact that something seems impossible shouldn't be a reason not to pursue it. That's exactly what makes it worth pursuing. Where would the courage and greatness be if success was certain and there was no risk? The only true failure is shrinking away from life's challenges. I want to be tested. I want to go through pain. I want to feel the discomfort. Because that's living. That's from Chris Williamson. Let me read you guys a Bible verse. Okay. Because this one I kept repeating to myself on the run. Okay. Isaiah 6, verse 8. When I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send, and who will go for us?" Then I said, "Here I am, send me." I kept repeating it to myself. Send me. Send me. I want to go. Put me through the pain. Send me. Test me. Try me. I will come out on top because I have God by my side. Okay. Philippians 4:13. Read it. That's what allowed me to get through that run. Okay. I don't know how many of you guys here read the Bible, but Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. Read it. It's good. Okay. And it was a reminder to myself that, man, when you feel like you're done, when you feel like the odds are stacked against you, when you feel like it's over, just how much more you have to give, just how much more you have in the tank when you feel like you can't do it anymore. Okay. Just how much more You have. It's crazy. It's crazy how much more you can give, even though you feel like you're done. Okay? It's fucking crazy. So I urge you guys to never shy away from adversity. I urge you guys to seek adversity, to seek pain, seek discomfort. Try it. Accept it. Embrace it. Be courageous. Because nothing ever good came from just sitting and being happy with where we are. Nothing ever good will come from sitting there and being complacent and being happy with being an average individual. Nothing good will ever come from that. What is life if you don't have to go through stuff? That doesn't make you a man. That doesn't make you a fucking man. You gotta go through it. Okay? You gotta go through it. And I reminded myself that, man, there's people who look up to me. There's people who are inspired by me. There's people who look up to me. Man, there's people who look up to me. I gotta be better. I gotta do more. That's why I kept going. Like, man, I owe it to you guys. I owe it to you guys to show that you can be who you want to be, right? I went from being a depressed university student to making a fuck ton of money and now living the best life I could ever dream of. I right now currently live a life better than what I ever dreamed of. Better. It sounds cliche. It's fucking true. I live a life better than I could have ever dreamed of. It didn't happen by accident. It didn't happen by just sitting there being complacent. I went through the ringer. And you should, and everyone's gonna. But that's what makes you grow, right? When you go to the gym and you do bicep curls, the next day your biceps are going to be sore. Do you look at that as bad? Do you sit there and complain and cry and whine that your biceps hurt? No, you're happy. You're excited because guess what? You know your biceps are growing. It means you tore them down. You broke them apart. You tore the muscle fibers fucking away from each other, but you know they're going to grow back stronger. Why don't you look at your life the same way? These things that are currently going on in your life happen for a reason. They're happening for a reason to make you a better person, to make you stronger. That's why it's happening. So think of your life like your bicep. Right now, you've just done a fucking superset of the entire rack. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's painful, but you know that it's going to grow and you're going to become stronger and better. Right? You have to go through it. You need pain in order to grow. We should seek this. We should seek these risks, these challenges, these things that seem scary. Because would life be worth living if it wasn't a little scary? Would life be worth living if you knew exactly what was going to happen every day? Would that be worth living if you knew exactly what was going to happen tomorrow? Would that be worth living? I don't think so. I think the fact that there's uncertainty is what makes life so awesome. What makes life worth living is the fact that we don't know what's going to happen. That's what makes this life so incredible. Because we aren't sure what's going to happen. We aren't sure if we're going to make it. We aren't sure what's going to happen tomorrow. We aren't sure of life. I think that's the gift of it. Because we don't know. That's what makes it so special. So I would urge you guys to all go out there and test yourselves. Test yourselves. Push yourselves to the limit and just see how much more you have to give. Okay? There's people out there that rely on you. There's people out there that look up to you. You may not even know it. They do. You have brothers and sisters. You have a mom and a dad. You have cousins. Okay? Do you? Do you not? All of you have some family member. Do you have friends? These people look up to you in some way, shape, or form. You owe it to them to be the best version of who you are. You owe it to God to give everything to the world. Show him the power and the beauty of his own creation. Do you know the odds of you being on this earth here today? We looked it up a little while ago. Does someone have the number? Can someone look it up? What is the chances of you being born?
I think it's like 400 trillion in one, something like that, or 4 trillion in one.
Okay, so 1 in
It's 4 trillion
400
one.
trillion. 1 in 400 trillion is the odds of you being born. And guess what? And God thought, man, we need one of you. If that doesn't inspire you to become the absolute best version you could ever be, I don't know what does. You know the thing that scares me the most in life? You know the thing that scares me the absolute most in life is dying and God saying, "Man, look who you should have been." That shit keeps me up at night. Knowing that there was more to my life, but I was too much of a coward to go out and get it. That shit keeps me up, man. There's people in this world that look up to you. There's people in this world that care for you. There's people in this world that love you, that you inspire. There's somebody in this world. And if there's nobody, if you think there's nobody, I promise you there's somebody, because guess what? There's me. And you guys inspire me. You guys inspire me every single day to be the best version who I can possibly be, so I can inspire you guys. You inspire me. You. Yeah. The fact that you're sitting here on this call listening, trying to learn and become a better version of who you are, that inspires me. So if you think there's nobody, I promise you there's somebody, and that somebody can be me. But I can promise you, it's also God. If you really think there's nobody in your life, there's always God. Okay? So go out there and become the best version of who you could possibly be. So there's so much more to life. Okay? There's so much more to life. I want to read you guys one more thing. And then we will end this off. Okay? So, last thing I want to read to you guys is my number one goal for all of you is to live a fantastic life filled with purpose and meaning, and to be the strongest, kindest, most honorable, best version of yourself. I don't want you to be a bad person. I want you to tell the truth, help people, inspire people, protect the people you care about, make money, get in shape, start to work, and show God the beauty of his own creation. Inspired by Andrew Tate. Go out there, be the best version of who you are, help people, protect the people you care about, make a bunch of money, live a life of purpose, be kind, be respectful, be humble, and be the best possible version that you could ever be. Amen.
Amazing, man.
Fucking G, bro.
It was amazing.
You're a G.
Inspirational.
Thank you, bro.
Dude,
Thank you
you
for this.
guys, you guys inspire me every single day to become the best version of who I could possibly be. So it's only right that I try and share one smithet of what I can. Like, you guys truly inspire me to wake up every single day and get up out of bed, wake up before my alarm rings. Every single day I wake up before my alarm rings. Every single day I wake up before my alarm rings. Like, you guys showing up to this call, you guys working hard, like you guys trying to provide for your families, it inspires me, man. Like, that shit inspires me. Like, yes, all of you on this call, you all inspire me to be a better version of who I am. So just keep doing what you're doing. Okay. You're doing a good job. Yeah. God is always watching. Make him proud of his creation. Right? 1 in 400 trillion, and he picked you. 1 in 400 trillion, and he picked you. He said, we need you. If that doesn't inspire you, man, I don't know what does. 1 in 400 trillion.
Come
Love
on,
y'all.
guys, get the number in your head and show God that he was right to put you on this earth, and prove it to yourself, prove it to your family, and go crush it out there, go crush life. And I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna show it to you guys, and I hope you guys do the same. We have this amazing community, and we should really appreciate it. We should really take advantage of it. So go for it.
Man, W so man. That's fucking awesome. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Yeah, let's get some W's. Everyone turn your cameras on. Let's get some W's in here real quick. It's only right if we do this. W's. Omar, Alex, Manoa, Tarek, Vincent. Cameras on. Let's get some W's in here. Some fucking W's. How's the best way to do a W? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what I'm talking about. Okay.